let's see what we got in here. This is the solar generator or power pack or power station, whatever you want to call it. Wow, look at that. Oh my God. I'm definitely going to keep the box. So there's the power cord, the 110 power cord, and there is the cigarette charger, and I'm not sure exactly what that's for, but we'll find out here in a little bit. And there's the instruction manual. So we'll move it over to the bench and see how it charges up. All right, I've downloaded the app, so I can't use the camera and the app at the same time, evidently, because I'm using the cell phone. But we're going to go ahead and plug it in and see what kind of charge we have. So here's the... Do not use other cables to charge. Plug directly into the wall outlet. Okay. That thing's heavy. Oh, that's a different kind of plug there, I think. That's the cigarette lighter plug. There we go. There's the charge cord port. Let's see if I can find an empty plug. All right. So there we go. Now let's figure out where we turn the power on. There we go. Oh, it's charging up. Look at that. So it's 29% power right now, and we're pulling in. Let's see, where it's gonna stop at. That's weird that it's different watts coming in. So 611 watts coming in from 613. Going up a little bit, so I've just got it plugged into 110, and it is 1:25 p.m., 1:26 p.m. So it says 1.5 hours to 100% charge. So we're going to let it sit there, and we're going to let it charge, and we're going to play with the app, and we'll come back. All right, the whole idea behind buying this power station is to make it a little lighter than the setup in my truck. Which had been acting up. So we're going to try to run some tools here. Let's do the old Harbor Freight 1x30. It pulls a pretty good amount of wattage. All right, let's see if we can. So we turn on the AC. All right. Let's see if it goes. No problem. So it'll run the 1x30. This is the machine that I had the most problems with my inverter in my truck. And it says it pulls 4 amps, but it's evidently pulling more wattage than my inverter in my truck could handle. So let's see if it'll run this thing. No problem. Look at that. So I don't know what's going on with my inverter in my truck, but it's not working right. So this is going to be a lot better. And I can charge it up with the generator that we're going to unbox next. So this is working great. I tell you what I want to try, yo. Let's try something that really pulls the amperage. So give me well, I thought this was going to pull more watts than it does. It pulls 10 amps or 1200 watts. So let's see if it'll run, the power station will run that. Let's go. No problem. We're not getting 1200 watts out of it. It's not pulling 1200 watts. It's hot, damn hot. So there you go. Oh, it got very hot. So anyway, it's running that. All right, so I plugged in my big air compressor. It's sitting behind the bench. Let's see if it'll run the air compressor. So we gotta get the air out of the tank so it'll kick in. So here we go. Nope. So it overloaded it. All right, so we're gonna try something else here. All right, so we got to see if we'll give it a minute. Let's unplug it. So we're going to figure out how to reset it here. I will power it off. All right, I'm not sure how to reset it at this point. We don't have any power going into it, so we're gonna have to, there it goes. Okay, the power is going back into it now, and it's reset. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna use the power boost, or the Echo Boost, or whatever you call it. So I gotta have the, okay, now I have what's called the X Boost on. So we're gonna plug this in and see if it comes on. I got that compressor going. Nope, it overloaded it. So it won't run the air compressor, that big air compressor. It's drawing, that'll draw too much. That's okay. We don't need it to run that air compressor anyway, but I do want to see if it'll run the little tiny air compressor in my truck, and we'll hook that up next. All right, we're gonna open up the generator. We're gonna save this box. I'm gonna put that in the attic. Just in case I ever have to return it, I'll have the exact box to put it in. So there's the instructions. Looks like some tools, different tools in there. So we'll keep the bag on that, put everything in there. So inside here is I guess that's for the oil, and then some tools, spark plug wrench, a little screwdriver, pieces there. So let's put that over here on the bench. And here's the hose for the propane. the generator inside there. Well, it's a little heavier than I thought it was going to be. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's take this. Let's put all this stuff back inside the box like that. Because I'm going to put this up in the attic. There we go. So the generator is a little heavier than I thought it was going to be. So there's the pull start for it. The gasoline. Now I'm going to run it on propane. Little filter there. I'm going to run this thing on propane. I'm not going to run it on gasoline to start. If I have to run it on gasoline, I will. But I'm going to try to make it just propane. So there's the propane thing on there. So we're going to have to read the instructions and go from there. I'm sure we got to put oil in it, and then maybe tomorrow we'll try it. Okay, I have the EcoFlow hooked up to my AMK75. You know, this is the main sharpening machine at my farmers markets, so I want to see how what kind of watts it pulls out of it and how long I can use it. So we're going to put a belt on it. All right, I put a belt on it just to give it some resistance on the motor. So let's see what it does. Oh, what's going on? Why don't I have any power? Oh, you know, it'd help if I turn the AC on. There we go. So now we have the AC on. Let's see what it's doing here. All right, let's see if it'll go. So see, the thing's only pulling 45 watts. So it says I can sharpen for a full day. It's crawling down pretty quick, isn't it? It's using very little power, so that's good. All right, now I have the twice as sharp hooked up to it. Let's turn it on. So the twice as sharp pulls some serious amperage off of it at the start. So it's saying that I can use this for about, well, the 8 hours it's going up. See, it's already at 9 hours. So it pulls very little. So I can be able to use this thing for, 12 hours, man. I mean, 12 hours worth of sharpening on this charge. That's going to work really well. So it runs just about everything. I mean, I could go try it on some other things, but I don't think I need to. I'm not ever going to use it on the Hirito. I'm not ever going to use it with the big red machine there. So I think we are golden. And man, this takes up a lot less room than those big old batteries and the inverter in the truck. So I'm going to be able to rearrange the back of the truck and have a lot more room in the back. All right, I got the Keurig hooked up to the new EcoFlow, and you can see it's heating up. It's using 87 watts, and it is heating up. You can hear it. It's almost ready. So almost 1400 watts is what the Keurig takes to heat up. Let's see what it does to brew. Let's see if it boosts up a little bit. So the problem was with my last power station, the the Blue Eddy, it would not run the coffee maker. Now the bad thing about this is it'll only run it for 14 minutes at the current charge of only 36%. But it doesn't take very long to make a cup of coffee. I'm going to make 2 of them here. So it works. All right, I got the generator all set up, got the oil in it, got the propane hooked to it. Got it connected to the Wi-Fi, and now I'm going to start it up, but I'm going to have to turn the camera off because I have to use the app on the phone. So here we go. Now, isn't that nice? And that is super quiet. So this is just standing right on top of it, and I'm just walking normally. So I'm going to walk away. So that's about 20 feet away. That is super quiet. So that's with a 1200 watt heat gun. Kicked on automatically and is charging the power station. Output, input. Now I've got the heat gun rolling. This is pulling a little less than 1200 watts. It should kick this generator on by itself. Let's see if it does. Let me go check the settings. Okay, so it will not kick on until it gets to 30% power. So we're at 46%. So it's going to take a little while before this kicks in. So we'll come back as we get closer to getting towards that 30% and see if it kicks on automatically. So I thought I would put the blower on there too and really suck down some power. So I got almost a 2,000 watt load on the power station. So we'll get down to 30% and the generator should kick on. We'll come back. All right, we're at 30%. It should kick on the generator. It's trying. There it goes. So it kicked on the generator all by itself when... There we go. All right, something happened. Something happened where it kicked off all the stuff output. Let's try it again. All right, I kicked on the... There we go. So something's happened. Oh, it's overloading. It's overloading the AC. I got an overload. So I'm gonna unplug the blower. So I guess I had too much going into it. power station hits 80%, it should kick off the generator. There it is. And now the generator will kick back on when the power station gets to 30%. So I've got it at 30 and 80. So we're golden right now. We're not going to do anything else. All right, I think both of these things are going to work really, really good together and give me an incredible amount of power, not only for the sharpening business, but in here inside the shop. If I lose power, we can take this camping with us. Traveling, we will have plenty of power. It's easy to throw in the back of either one of our trucks. And it's just going to be a great setup for the business. And it was a write-off for the business. So thanks for watching.